Yes guys, this is boy Cam, CTB, Cam Talks Boxing, back with another video. Zhilei Zhang is coming off the victory, the shock of the weekend. He stops the Juggernaut Joe Joyce in round 6. Absolute demolition job. Outclassed him, bust his face up and shut his eye. In the Copperbox, London, I was there. It was tough to witness, super entertaining. Happy for Zhilei Zhang. And the question is Zhilei Zhang a top 5 heavyweight now? Let's discuss, guys. Let's talk about it. Yes, guys, let's go straight into it. Zhilei Zhang. Look, you can see, I'm going to say it. I know he got robbed against Filip Hrgović, and most of you will agree. So you can say he's coming off 2 massive victories. And what's interesting is, and one thing they both have in common is Joe Joyce and Filip Hrgović both had so much hype behind them. They were like the dark horses of the heavyweight division. Filip Hrgović, I think he's 15-0 with 12 knockouts, so a super power puncher, just destroying everybody. Then Zhilei Zhang, he's now 25. He's now 25-1-1, obviously because he's got 1 draw. And he's got 20 knockouts, so he's a heavy hitter. He's experienced. He's been there, done that. And then you've got Joe Joyce, who was 15-0 with 14 knockouts. Obviously now he's 15-1, but still he's like one of the hardest punchers and most destructive fighters in boxing. He had so much hype behind him. People arguing that he's in the conversation with Usyk and Fury, with the best in the world, and Zhilei Zhang just shocked us out of nowhere. So I guess you could say that he is a top 5 heavyweight because he just beat the person who was in the top 5, and he beat him convincingly. That's one of my main takes. You know, I was there, I was watching it, and just Joe Joyce never looked in the fight. Zhilei Zhang was very comfortable. He threw great combinations. He was just landing he was slipping punches. He was landing the left all night long. His defense was quite good. He wasn't getting hit by too much. And what really impressed me was his gas tank. I was looking. He was taking heavy breaths every other minute. But he was controlling his breathing. He was composed, and he has a knack for, you know, running out of steam, you know, getting tired. But look, he looked good in this fight. Obviously we don't know how it would have went towards the latter stages of the fight because obviously it didn't go there, but we can only judge on what happened. And in those 6 rounds he was the better fighter completely. He won more or less every round, I believe. And the fact that the judges had Joe Joyce up on the scorecards, I thought was just typical, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. Because the best demolition job. That's what it was. Zhilei Zhang destroyed Joe Joyce with a destructive performance. So for me, he has to be a top 5 heavyweight, because one reason why you could argue he's maybe not top 5, but it definitely is certainly is top 10, because others have a better resume than him. But then, because who has he really fought? He's fought the 2 big names on his record are Filip Hrgović and Joe Joyce, but then they're his last two performances, and he's obviously been getting better. I think he had a majority draw against Jerry Forrest, who really is just like a gatekeeper. He's lost to a lot of the top heavyweights in the world. He obviously just got knocked out by Jared Anderson. So for me, it doesn't really matter about his resume, because at the end of the day, if you look at when we look at his resume, his next few fights, it could be Hrgović, Joyce. It could be Joyce again. It could be he's basically in line for a world title shot. You know, he could fight Fury at Usyk. So really, his resume's been getting better. And by the time he retires, he could have his last 4 or 5 fights could have been the top 10 guys. So I think you've got to look at now the form he's in, the momentum he's in, and he's just kind of come out of nowhere for me in the last 12 to 15 months. So for Zhilei Zhang, he has to be probably he's right up there. Honestly, he's right up there. You could put him in. You could put him in there with a Wilder. I think personally, I think Wilder probably. I think Wilder knocks him out. I think, but it'll be a great fight. I think Joshua, which I'm not sure, but I think it'll be a good fight. It'll be a really good fight. That's a really good fight to make. Obviously, there's talks about Zhang fighting Joshua instead of Franklin fighting Joshua, but I think I might have deemed a bit too risky, as it was evident this past weekend. But yeah, guys, for me, Zhilei Zhang is a top. I can say, for me, it's Fury, Usyk, top 2. Wilder third, based on the fact that I think he beats Joshua, and I think he knocks out Joyce clearly. So Wilder 3. I say Joshua 4 now, because look, he's been unified champion. He has a great resume, and he's coming off a win. When you put it into perspective now, it's better than a loss, isn't it? But obviously Zhang's a lot better than Franklin, but coming off a win, and he's been unified champion. Then obviously I had Joyce in the top 5, but I think it has to be Zhang now. And you can maybe argue Andy Ruiz. I think Zhang v Andy Ruiz would be a great fight. I think it's nip and tuck between them. But yeah, I think for me, I'll put Zhang at 5 now, and then obviously Ruiz at 6, and probably Joyce at 7. I think it's split between them. I think even Joyce, you can still call it 6. Look, you don't write Joyce off. Look, I'm going to do another video on Joe Joyce, talking about what's next for him. Has he been exposed? But for now, Zhilei Zhang, wow, I'm excited to see what's next for him. There was talks about he wants Tyson Fury in China. There's rumours about Tyson Fury coming his next fight being July 22nd in Wembley. I'd love for Fury to fight Zhang. It might also be Fury v Andy Ruiz Jr. I know Andy Ruiz Jr. is the bigger name, but I think the fans will be pleased with the Zhang fight, because he's coming off these 2 great performances. He's beat Joe Joyce, and for Fury to put a statement against Zhang will be impressive. So guys, I'll be back with another video. Talking numbers on